New Arc Line is a story-driven CRPG developed by the Czech-Ukrainian studio Dreammate. It is published by Fulqrum Publishing. It has begun its early access journey, but this well-crafted adventure contains an immersive world, detailed character creation, and a turn-based strategic combat system. This is a game where your choices and decisions matter. There are many different ways to get through a conflict, and fighting doesn't always solve everything. New Arc Line takes place in a world where magic and technology struggle to coexist. As the game begins, technologies such as Steam, Diesel, and Tesla has taken over the world, and magic, from celestial to voodoo and the darker arts, secretly work in the shadows. This is a real RPG. You will create your character and customize your stats, your class, your background, and the traits that you possess. You will be given a variety of skills and opportunities to use them throughout the game. Observation is important to be able to glean information from the most basic of circumstances, or you might want to have a lot of persuasion or intimidation to get what you want. Almost every major dialogue will allow you to make choices that will influence the people you meet and even your own party, who can disagree with you and have their own levels of trust. The story, world, and characters ended up being my favorite part of the game. Everything feels lived in and fleshed out, from the giant pipes and steam towers to the large amount of characters that are just going about their day. I also got yelled at by a bunch of cats as I roamed around. The writing is really good. It's not heavy-handed and full of lectures, nor is it insulting and hand-holdy. For example, I like this one scene where you have to help out a theater manager with his play. The city wants to use it to advertise at the expense of the truth. This play acts as an exposition to the world and allows you to make choices on how the script is developed. You feed lines to the actors, and you can choose to throw in promotional ads or keep the original playwright's intent. It also gave me a sample of the game's voice acting, which is typically good, but has moments of real awkwardness that I actually found really funny, whether by accident or intentional.
No, Violet! You can't break free, it's clear. My soul is bound to dark magic. My dear.
I also liked this one monster character later in the game where the voice actor is doing his best Jack Nicholson impression.
Let us converse like proper beings. Ask away, and I shall answer. Yes, yes.
The city you get to explore is filled with NPCs, a decent amount that you can interact with. If an NPC is outlined in blue, you can talk to them in greater detail, and they might have things to barter and trade, or they may provide information you need. There are surprises too. You can trigger a scripted interaction just by walking around. This can lead to subquests or a nice story revelation in your main quest. There are all kinds of systems to engage with. Based on your chosen skills, you can find mechanical devices to fix or get items from. You can pick a locked door and skip part of a quest. You can craft weapons and armor if you have the right materials, and your mages can make new magic by combining cards and also enchanting armors. You have a large inventory, so you never have to worry about looting too many things and having to run back to a shop and discard them. The combat system is turn-based and strategic. Everything is based on points. Primary points that fuel your active abilities like attacking, move points that dictate how far you can move or reposition on the battlefield, reaction points that allow you to perform actions when certain conditions are met, like blocking a hit or smacking an opponent as you pass by them. Both the enemies and you have an armor stat that comes back every turn. This will encourage you to do as much damage as possible or manage your turns wisely. You can pick from the adventure mode, which makes combat much easier, or the classic mode, which is much harder. I played on adventure because I wanted to enjoy the story, and the combat is still challenging enough. I had plenty of tense encounters. There are only a few constructive criticisms I have on the game so far. This is a game for patient players who like an immersive world and a story. It's a bit of a slow burn, and it takes a while to get a party and start doing things. There is a lot of exposition, from the opening cutscenes to the prologue to the long initial section without much combat. When you do engage in combat, sometimes it can pit you against a lot of enemies and can draw out quite a bit. But this game knows its audience, and you are rewarded for being patient and using your brain. The looped character animations can be awkward, especially when two characters are talking to each other, but they are in their default animations and not even looking at each other. The game needs a little bit of optimization. It uses up a lot of memory. There is plenty of texture popping that drags the frame rate down, and in the large areas it can be difficult to maintain 60 FPS. At the time of this review, the early access version is about 6 hours long if you rush the main story. However, there is plenty to do and experiment with, and you will find subquests, and you can try out all the different classes as you mess around with the game's systems. In conclusion, it's great to see a game like New Arcline that fills the AA gaming space. It's that middle ground where creativity thrives. It's a great game to provide escapism and remind us that we can still enjoy a finely crafted experience that gives us choices. New Arcline is currently $20 in early access and gets a refreshing recommendation from me so far. I'm Dan T from Twisted Banana Productions. Like, comment, and possibly subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.